Greetings, YouTube. Welcome back to the channel. We have some breaking news courtesy of my man Ben, who you can actually see in the top left of this post. It says from Ben. He has directly messaged me this link, and we are here to discuss it because it looks like, from all indications, KABAM listened. With 1 week of Alliance Quest raids officially in the books, we know there were things that went well and things that didn't. Sounds like a lot of dates, you know? We wanted to work to address as many pain points as quickly as possible, and we'll be making changes before the start of the next raid week. We have been listening to feedback from the community, as well as evaluating internal data, and as more raid weeks come and go, we will continue to develop and adapt the game mode to make it a challenging and fun event many alliances will be excited to tackle, and I think they will probably want to add in that, and not just the best alliances with the most stacked rosters that have whaled out and spent the most money, because that is ultimately not a guaranteed way for them to be profitable when a new game mode hits. They want the MCOC middle class, so to speak, to be willing to tackle it. And in the first week, from what it looks like, a lot of alliances said hard pass, and those that didn't say hard pass wish they had said hard pass once they got into it. We're coming at you with a list of all the changes we'll be making to raids for round 2. Core mode changes. The revives in the store will change from 2 every 24 hours to 7 every 3.5 days. Okay, so I don't think that's that big of a change on paper, because 2 every 24 hours means 8 every 4 days. So 7 every 3.5 days is kind of the same math. Now, the way you get them or store them could be different. Expiration is also increased to 3.5 days. That is definitely the best pro player change of that. You'd think that it might be helpful to do 3 every 24 hours, but that's apparently being too greedy. Choice nodes now match the same order as the edit team screen. I know that was a big complaint that I covered on this channel when raids first came out. Link nodes attached to Ultron now live on the first fight in each path. Live or live. I don't know what way you want to say that. Removing exclusivity for champs and raids. Summoners will be able to use raid selected champions in other content. This will share the same settings as maps 1 and 2. Okay, that is fantastic. And look, there are going to be people who, no matter what, they just cringe every time me or anybody else gives KABAM credit, because they're just always so angry all the time. And I say, look, if you hate this game, if you hate this company, if you are miserable, that's a bad way to live. That is a bad recipe for your own mental health, and maybe you should take a break or a deep breath. But KABAM does a lot of good things, and I love praising them when they do good things. This is an example here. But we will also continue to hold them accountable, even if they just threaten to do things like nerf Hercules. Overall, we saw players getting blocked and stuck, waiting for others quite a bit. Whether this was from revives not being enough for you to push hard in one session, or having to wait on others to clear the Ultron link. We hope these changes lead to a smoother overall experience. The change to exclusivity should also let summoners more freely choose whichever champs they feel they can perform best within raids, as they will no longer be locked out of other content. This is especially a problem with Alliance War, where people were really ticked that they lost their best defenders or attackers. Boss node tuning, we want to make the bosses a bit more forgiving and a bit less aggressive with their ramping. We also wanted to even out the missions to make them feel more consistent in terms of difficulty across each of the bosses. Influence nodes, timer to gain effects increased from 20 seconds to 25 seconds. Puncture pierce lowered from 20 to 5. Puncture stun immunity change, minus 100% stun duration. Strength's fury reduced from 100% attack to 75. Dyer's precision reduced from 60 to 30. Okay, so those nerfs I'm sure should help some. Thanos saith, intercept mission changed to strike with a light attack while the defender is not stunned. Awesome. Block mission changed to knock down the opponent. Boss boosts HP threshold increased from 10 to 12. Roll force now grants all attacks true damage while active. Null break, armor break increased from 18 to 25. Super buffs intensity increased from 5 to 10. Total from 50 to 100. Prowess ender now grants 25% critical rating for each prowess active during special attacks. We want to even out the roll boosts some more, as well as give all champs in the modes some more consistent damage with true damage. This won't suddenly make everyone do as much damage as Iron Man with critical armor. That's still the gold standard. Or let you make clips with Hulkbuster, like our resident expert Karate Mike. But it should give the weakest performers some needed extra power. Overall, we're pretty happy with how raids have gone so far and love seeing you folks wishing for more of it. I don't know who's doing that. We'll be keeping a close eye on it and taking in as much feedback as we can. Best of luck in more raids. Awesome changes. These are some really good changes. Kudos, KABAM. So, again, amen to that. Let's echo that. They listened. Pro player changes. We need to celebrate this every time it happens because it means that the game will hopefully stay around longer when KABAM listens. It is not rocket science to say that things can be pro player and pro KABAM's pocketbook at the same time, and I think this is an example of that. Have a great rest of your day. Ben, thank you as well for sending this to me so fast.